They will allow our next performers to be out in front of you, and then after they gather up and we enjoy a very unique act that we're going to unfold for you, in they will come. And remember, part of this is the fact that we have been planting gasoline and dynamite since early this morning out in the grassy area just prior to the runway, and we are going to eliminate that. And we have our good friend, Mr. Roger Garrett, who's going to provide the narration for Tora 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 as they go out and hold up. And we look to the right at a red biplane that is not part of that team, low and to the right behind the team. They're going to get ready. They're going to be the next featured act after Tora goes off. And let's thank these people, Rob. I think we've got a little time. The Chairman's Club, Auglaze Family Dental, Thaler Machine Company, Brian Nyland, Compunet Clinical Labs, Eagle Mold, International Display Systems Incorporated. And a welcome and a salute to the Ralston family, L3 Support, V Sentry, Support Air Incorporated, Robinson Meyer Incorporated, Margaret Hamilton OD, Newark Family Dentistry, CTL Aerospace, and Paulette Payne. December 7th, 1941, and you are there! Confusion as the first bombs explode, the first sirens and alarms sound. Right now, right here, listen to the sounds of battle. Hear the sirens just as they did that fateful day. Feel the explosions hammer your chest just as they did that fateful day. Smell the smoke as it burns your nostrils just as they did that fateful Sunday morning. Look, listen, and remember, for we must never forget. The Japanese planes attack relentlessly. Many servicemen believe the attack is some kind of crazy air raid drill. They think the airplanes are American. In fact, one soldier remarks, "This is the best dang drill the Air Force has ever put on." But when the rising suns become visible on the wings of the airplanes, everyone knows this is no drill. General Short, the commander of Army Forces, is notified the attack while playing golf. His response is, "That is ridiculous." General Short will wish he could have been right, but he has never been more wrong. The highly coordinated attack goes off like clockwork. At 07:55, bombers attack Wheeler and Hickam Air Force Base. 2 minutes later, torpedo planes, just like the ones you are seeing in front of you now, begin their attack on Battleship Row. Sleepy-eyed soldiers stumble outside to see Japanese airplanes everywhere, circling the skies, waiting to attack the ships lined up side by side along Battleship Row. In the middle of Pearl Harbor, sitting like ducks, they make great targets. In fact, the Japanese have designed new torpedoes capable of striking the ships in the shallow harbor, a technological advancement the Americans are sadly unaware of. The practice ship Utah was the first to be hit. It lists and sinks. The light cruiser Raleigh takes 2 torpedoes. The battleship Oklahoma and West Virginia are next. The Oklahoma lifts, then capsizes, rolling on to the battleship USS Maryland. When the Oklahoma sinks, her belly thrusting out of the burning waters of Pearl Harbor, hundreds of men are trapped. Only 32 of these men would be rescued, and not until a full 36 hours after the attack. The battleship California takes 2 torpedoes and sinks, and at that same time, the USS Arizona, which has already taken a torpedo, has a bomb strike next to its number 2 turret. The 1,700-pound projectile penetrates deep into the belly, first through 1 deck, then through 2 decks. It lodges next to the number 2 magazine, and seconds later, the Arizona erupts like a volcano rising out of the harbor, flames shooting over 500 feet in the air. Almost 1,200 men perish at that moment, sent to a watery grave. These brave men still rest in the hold of that great ship at the Arizona Memorial, a testament to their courage, their sacrifice, their honor. At 08:35, the first wave ends. The damage is horrendous. In Washington, at 08:50 Hawaii time, early afternoon in the States, an hour after the attack began, Secretary of State Cordell Hull, well aware of what is happening in Hawaii, erupts Japanese breaking off peace talks. I have never seen a document that was more crowded with infamous falsehoods and distortions on a scale so huge that I never imagined until today that any government on this planet was capable of uttering them. The second wave of the Japanese attack swarms over Hawaii at 08:55. 132 additional aircraft spread out to hit ships, airfields, and barracks throughout Oahu. But for the second wave, the element of surprise is gone, and the Americans fight back, making the Japanese pay, inflicting damage of their own. A bomb hits the destroyer down while she sits in dry dock. Another strikes the commander of Naval Forces Husband Heat Kimmel's flagship, the battleship Pennsylvania, which is in dry dock, detonating guns and ammunition. Dive bombers attack the Raleigh, which has already been hit by torpedoes. One bomb misses the ship's aviation tanks by mere feet. The battleship Tennessee takes 2 bombs and sinks. The flames on the West Virginia now reach as high as the foresail. The attack is devastating, but the day has numerous stories of heroism. The Nevada on the south end of Fort Island opens fire at 08:02, and although her captain and senior officers are not on board, Lieutenant Commander J.F. Thomas ignores his wounds, gets the ship underway even with a huge hole in her port bow. Also on the Nevada, 21-year-old Joseph Tossick Jr. officer of the deck, mans an aircraft battery and continues to direct fire at the enemy even after a bullet passes through his thigh. He refuses to leave his comrades. He refuses to leave the battle. There are also stories of irony. The commander of Naval Forces on Hawaii, Admiral Husband Kimmel, is hit by a bullet and wishes that it might have killed him. The Admiral says it would have been merciful if I had been killed. Yeoman First Class Webb rushes to his wife and child. This is his story. When we were almost to the car, my wife says the baby doesn't have any diapers. Get some. This is Armageddon, the end of the world, and my wife has me chasing diapers. At the end of the battle, President Franklin Roosevelt addresses a shocked nation.
United States of America was suddenly engaged by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan. The attack yesterday on the Hawaiian Islands has caused severe damage to American naval and military forces. I regret to tell you that very many American lives have been lost. With confidence in our armed forces, with the unbounding determination of our people, we will gain the inevitable triumph of us born.
At 10 o'clock, the last of the strike force makes its way back to the waiting carriers, and the Japanese ships begin their long journey back to Japan. The attack lasted only 120 minutes, but American bases lay in ruins, smoke billowing up from the devastation. 8 battleships, 3 cruisers, 3 destroyers, and 4 auxiliary ships, 18 ships in all, lay foundering in the oil-covered waters of Pearl Harbor. More than 350 aircraft stand broken or completely destroyed. In reality, America's Pacific Fleet has simply ceased to exist. But most horrific, 3,500 Americans lay dead or wounded in what remains of Pearl Harbor and Hickam Air Force Base. The Japanese lost 29 planes and less than 200 men. The Army and Navy spend the rest of the day attending to the wounded and putting out fires. The Arizona alone burns for 3 days. Yes, President Roosevelt issued a call to arms, and America listened. No one expected the surprise attack that fateful day. America was not ready for war, but America responded. America pulled together, and America was victorious. Young men joined the armed forces to defend the nation. I am Roger Goward, and we are TORA TORA TORA!
Roger Goward, you get it. You transmit to the audience. You've got it all. Folks, give a big hand to the man who tells the story. Mr. Roger Gowett. Roger also has a comment.
And ladies and gentlemen, today, if you see people in red shirts that have Pearl Harbor Survivor written on those shirts, please go up and thank them as well. We want you to have a wonderful day. Be safe, be prosperous, and most important, be proud to be an American. Thank you.
And thank you, Roger Gowett. And thank you. Folks, let's give it up for that wall of fire. That's the team member of Tora 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 who does